You don't want to forgive. You want to be free, without permission. Society demands that you let go, move on, and forgive to be a good person. Every book, every influencer, every meme pushes the story. Forgiveness is the path to inner peace. But what if you aren't after serenity? What if you just want to rip the mask off your soul, claim what's yours, and stop apologizing for it? Nietzsche never trusted the virtue parade. He saw forgiveness culture not as healing, but as a costume ball. Everyone performing grace. Nobody daring to name the darkness that lives beneath the velvet mask. Most people aren't chasing peace. They are hunting for the strength to own their pain and power without bowing to morality's courtroom. Okay, think about a snake in the grass, shedding its skin under the cold gaze of the moon. Nietzsche wrote, "The snake which cannot cast its skin has to die." He didn't mean death in flesh and bone. He meant that you must outgrow your own narratives, your moral chains, or you'll become a ghost, trapped in rituals of forced forgiveness. Forgiveness, in its purest sense, is not about freedom. It's about swallowing your rage, neutralizing your boundaries, and serving it all on a silver platter to your so-called higher self. But Nietzsche believed there is something more primal inside you, a hunger to reclaim the pieces you gave away, to accept every shadowy impulse without shame. Modern psychology calls this power integration. It isn't evil. It's honest. We all want to be the architect of our own fate, to drop the apologies and stand tall without needing anyone's blessing. The world celebrates the martyr, the one who moves on with a heavy heart, wears a smile like a badge, and buries their anger under 6 feet of politeness. But what lives, what grows, when you keep uprooting your true feelings just to be called good? Nietzsche would argue that morality is a cage, not a compass. He wrote, "Morality is the herd instinct in the individual." He believed that what you call virtue is often just a fear of owning your deepest drives. Forgiveness is sold as salvation, but for many, it's a mask worn to avoid the discomfort of facing what really happened, and what you'd do if no one were watching. You don't want peace with your enemies. You want permission to cut the cord and walk away, unburdened by guilt. Not to offer the other cheek, but to turn your face toward the sun and never look back. Real power means digesting the poison, then using it as fuel. You don't heal by denying your capacity for darkness. You heal by giving it a place at the table, acknowledging the urge for revenge, the hunger to be unbound, the right to close a door and never open it again. Imagine someone who wronged you. The world expects you to forgive and forget, but your blood knows the truth. Your resentment is a compass. It points to your unmet needs, your violated boundaries, your lost voice. Nietzsche would say, follow that bitterness. Let it teach you where you gave away your power. Let it call you to reclaim it. Most people don't actually desire harmony. They desire to be whole, to stop giving away their dignity for the price of being liked, to stop confusing compliance with virtue. Peace is what you're told to seek, but power is what your shadow craves. Nietzsche's will to power is not domination, but authenticity. It is the courage to write your own commandments. It is the refusal to bow at the altar of forced forgiveness, to stop watering the grave of your old self, and to grow something wild and new from the ashes. Every time you pretend to forgive when you're still wounded, you chain your anger to your ankle like a ghost in the attic. You call it letting go, but you're just hiding from the beast you're afraid to be. The truth is darker and braver. You don't need to be the saint. You can be the sovereign. You can keep your anger as a teacher, your grudge as a shield, your wound as a warning. Not to live in the past, but to never abandon yourself again. Psychology tells us that suppressed rage becomes depression, that false forgiveness is a breeding ground for resentment. Nietzsche would say, honor your instinct to cut loose, to evolve, to stop asking for permission to feel. You weren't seeking peace. You were reclaiming power, quietly. So when you feel the pull to forgive, pause. Ask yourself if you're making peace or just making yourself small. Ask if you're truly over it, or if you're just tired of being told you should be. Maybe you don't need to forgive. Maybe you need to set yourself free. Let the snake shed its skin. Let the old story die. If you're ready to claim your darkness as your birthright, subscribe for more on Nietzsche, power psychology, and the art of unapologetic living. Share your story in the comments. When did you stop seeking peace and start reclaiming your power? Let's walk into freedom together.